Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Wargaming.net League Gold Series. My name is Breaker.
This is Edison 99.
And I'm Skip Alpha.
And tonight we are going to have six best of fives, or three best of fives, six teams. There we go. Okay, so I'm wondering who's on the agenda first. Let's get a look-see here. It's going to be
Honking and the PvP Super Friend.
Indeed. All right, so that's going to be pretty good, but I think perhaps the biggest matchup, we're saving the best for last tonight, obviously. It's going to be Elong versus Team Efficiency.
Right.
All right.
But
so
Honking and PvP Super Friends is pretty crucial as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they are ranked on the between the 5 to 7, I think.
I think once we all see the standings, it'll be pretty self-explanatory.
Yep.
But I really want the production crew to dive into the rules right now.
Okay.
Rules.
Or
production team, come on. Okay, I guess we're going straight into the standings,
rules,
apparently, according to the production crew.
Okay.
So here we are. Intense Honking versus
PvP Super Friends. Yeah, if one of the team win, he might get into the semi-final, I think.
Yeah, but they'll be tied. They'll be tied with 3 other teams for, third prize essentially if they get if they have 10 points at the end of the evening. So I mean, I bet they're probably sweating bullets right now, thinking, it's time to perform. We have to do something. We have to win this. Basically, this is what's on their mind.
Yeah, but even PvP Super Friend win, the score of the number and the PvP gonna be the same. So according to the rule, they have to check the win-lose ratio, right?
Yeah, that's right. They'll have to check the win-lose ratio. The team that has that has more wins will be on top.
Yeah, I do remember if PvP they win today, but they only win like 3-2. They still cannot get into the semi-final because of compared to the number, the win-loss ratio right now, the number is higher than got 2 more points compared to PvP. So the PvP have to win like 3-1.
Okay.
At least. Yeah.
Real quick, before we look at the silver standings, I'd like to know what's going to happen to our bottom 4 teams here.
Okay, the 7th, 8th team are going to demote to the Silver Series next season. And 5th and 6th will have an up and downs. So they're going to have another match with,
with Silver's number 3rd, and number 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, well, let's check this out. Go to the silver standings, crew. All right. 1 blood, 5 wins, 1 loss, and I think they could probably actually sit out if they have a match tonight. I believe they could sit out this one, but they'd still have to play for their position in, I guess you could say, Gold Series or playoffs, if you will, before the season finals. And do we know when exactly the season playoffs are going to be?
The playoffs? Do you mean the up and downs, or?
The ups and I mean when we determine who's going on to the season finals.
The semi-final should be next week, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but the up and down, I don't know the schedule.
The up and downs will be conducted after the season finals.
Well,
okay.
Do we have a confirmed date and time for that event just yet?
It's not announced yet.
Okay.
We do have a schedule, but it's not announced, so we're not. It's not good to speak it right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's not keep you guys bored all night. We're gonna hop straight into some action. It's gonna be between our first 2 teams of the evening. Excuse me, Intense Honking and PvP Super Friends. As we can see, it's gonna be played out in Himmelsdorf. Not something we see all that often, right? I mean, Himmelsdorf. I feel like
I think the screen got some problem here.
Maybe.
I think it's because of the because of 9.3.
Okay.
So the what do you call that,
the window.
Yeah, the window is not matched to the to the map and the roster over there.
Thankfully, we have Alpha saving esports. His computer is actually in the observer lobby as well, and apparently what we can see is that Intense Honking has 3 AMX50s and 2 IS3s, perfectly standard. And we have, I guess you could say, something slightly converse coming from PvP Super Friends. That would be 2 AMX50s and 3 IS3s. All right. So, honestly, I feel like a draw match in map number 1 would I guess you could say, kind of be expected out of this because, well, this is a map where it's just humongous. We don't see teams, I think, really willing to gamble to get themselves a win on this map. But we have seen a lot of close calls in games, and even some, I guess you could say, upsetting turnarounds in some.
Yeah, but I think the PvP got really nice record on the Hemistock because I do remember them win a lot of time on this map. So maybe they gonna be more aggressive on this map because of they are much more familiar on this one.
I don't know. With what's on the line right now, I don't know if they're going to be gambling or not. But I mean, it's just hard to say because I mean, when we're talking about what's at stake here, I mean, Intense Honking, they're already in the top 4 for the Gold Series, right?
Yeah.
But PvP Super Friends has to get there.
Yeah. But on most cases, the Intense Honking they play much more defensive on Hemistock.
All right. Well, let's dive straight into this. Emmelsdorf. Looking to go. All right. I'm thinking, what we could see is maybe the typical scenario that pans out. Mostly all T1 Cunningham staying alive at the end of the game, or at least one staying alive at the end of the game, and then the big tier 8s go at it, and maybe it could end up just being a draw, but at the same time, let's see how each side plays their cards. To the north, it is PvP Super Friends, and to the south, it's going to be Intense Honking. And we saw the screen flash red there. Not because the TESL crew wanted to make things suspenseful, but I think it was actually a mod, an observer mod glitch of some form. It actually killed the observers, and so now they're watching. Okay. This isn't something you see every day. I think PvP Super Friends has an offensive in mind.
Yeah, they're not camping on
on the north side. Right. They're not at B345. They're not at C345. So they've got obviously offensive intentions, if you will. They realize that they want to win one game and try and play off of that 1 point advantage. They are probably feeling confident that they can do that. And based on their position, they're going to try and exploit whatever mistakes comes out of Intense Honking. So the setup right here, what are the weak spots of this setup, Edison? Can you tell us?
Which team?
Intense Honking. It looks like they're on the defensive right now.
Yeah, on such setup, because they got a view on the central and the left side, so if you want to attack them, the only way is from hill side. Right now, even if you got a team from hill, they still can figure out that because they already control the view range on the middle and the west part. So if you go up to the hill side, they're gonna know that because they didn't see any enemy on the middle and the left. So they got to know, okay, you all on the hill or all on the northeast.
Right.
So yeah, even on such position, it's really hard to flanking them.
Something else to throw out there right now is in the background, Tedamaru took down Honking Intensifies, and I'm liking this new, I guess you could say, observer mod update because now we can see how many kills each tank has gotten in the game. So that can make that can make the viewer experience much more suspenseful. What if one tank goes in there and gets 5 kills? That would be amazing, right?
Yeah, and the PP right now they got a chance, because of the ice water on the hillside, right? So if he go to the G9, he can snipe this guy, on the hill, and it's an auto loader, and this guy is I think he always drive a single shooter in the machine.
Maybe.
Check it. This guy, is an ice-3.
Ice Water's making that push happen. Wait a minute.
No, he cannot shoot anyone there. The payment time.
What I mean to say is he's actually making a push to, I guess you could say, maybe go down the hill. It looks like that's exactly what he's doing now.
Yeah, there is a little gap, so he can shoot this guy on the hill. He's the ice water. He cannot do that. He cannot do that. Oh.
Is that what's going to happen?
No.
What is it? What are you up to, bro?
Yeah.
Great. The observer just ruined the experience. Uh-oh. I hear shots fired in the background, but I don't think there was a hit or connection. I really feel like we should probably get the free cam going. That would be, I guess you could say, a little bit more aesthetically pleasing to the human eye. That kind of thing. But as it is right now, 3 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. And guess what? Intense Honking is already winning. That's why they're on the defensive. They know that they just have to. They could just end this series with a draw and they'll be in a good spot.
Yep.
But that's not the situation that PvP Super Friends is in at present. They know that they have to win this. They have to get out there.
Yeah. But PvP still got a chance to win. If they win the next 2 matches, they still got a chance get into the semi-final. But it's not a good start right now.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay,
Alright.
okay. In his Honking now, okay, PvP, you guys got a sniper on heel, so they're trying to shift to the left side, so you cannot snipe me.
Right, Ice Water there. He's kind of chilling. He's waiting. He's staying calm. He's trying to look for a pick to play, as is the rest of PvP Super Friends. They're ready for it, but at the same time, Honking says, "Hey man, mistakes are what cost us the game, and I am not gonna make any mistakes." 2 minutes and 37 seconds left on that clock. T1 Cunningham still on the hill, and guess what? Enemy T1 is at the bottom of it. So, if either side really wants to go for a draw, this is that position where they can go for the draw. But
Yep.
it looks like that's kind of the exact scenario we're gonna have here with 2 minutes on the clock remaining. And wait a minute, Honking, they're going for it.
Yeah,
Okay.
they know that. PvP know that.
And their T1 Cunningham is relocating itself as we speak. It's not going to pull a Botek. It's not going to pull a Leroy Jenkins and go in there guns blazing. The play is about to be made, but there are already 2 tanks ready to intercept by PvP Super Friends at the north end of the map.
Yep.
291 off of Honk Like a Boss as he passes by Tadamaru. 396 off of Honk Like a Sir. Second follow-up shot misses. 664 in total off of Honk Like a Boss. That was a shot from Tadamaru and I think someone on the hill.
Oh,
And now he's out. He's
Yeah.
out. So what does PvP Super Friends do to abuse this? They've got 90 seconds to make something happen.
Yep.
Robin dodges a bullet. And for the time being, it looks like he's just relocating himself.
Yeah, and they need to do it right now.
374 off of Tadamaru. I hate being caught in that spot. I really do. It's like a death trap at some points.
Ooh.
291 off of Robin. He's been exposed and he's being exploited.
Wow.
579 off of Batman's understudy. 315.
Wow.
Where's the next shot coming from? All right. So now they're in I guess you could say a covered position, but I feel like if we see a push coming from Intense Honking at this moment, it's really gonna hurt.
Yeah, but only have 40 seconds. So even they can do kill a couple of tanks, it's gonna be a draw.
Right. I mean, it's kind of one of those positions. It sucks to be PvP Super Friends right now or Intense Honking because at this point a win is not really feasible unless the entire enemy team somehow commits suicide, either accidentally or purposely. And looks like Tadamaru's taking a huge chunk there, as well as Robin. Not doing so good. Failed ramp there on the Hydro Rex. In the exchange of fire in the background, we can see that Ice Water has picked up 2 kills. Also, wait a minute, that's not looking too good. Well, finally, losing his patience, he fires a shot, and this game comes to a draw, but, it wasn't completely clean or anything like that. We did see that Intense Honking was the blue team? No, I'm sorry,
yeah,
blue
red
team.
team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
the red
Robin
team.
was blue. What is wrong with me tonight? Okay. So, I mean, they were left with only 2 tanks at the end of that game, so, I mean, if that's anything of a forecast for, the rest of the games for the evening, I feel like it might not end well for PvP Super Friends.
Yeah, I only know, if they cannot get 1 more point. I mean, I'm not talking about Joe, they have to win next 2, or they're gonna lose the chance get into the semi-final. But I don't know if PvP come to that, I mean, the Himstov is really nice map for them. They know how to play on this one, but they didn't take that,
All right. Well, let's see how game number 2 pans out.
Okay.
Hi guys, we are back and it's going to be heavy tanks as the order of the day comes on Ensk. We're going to have 2 IS-3s and 3 AMX-50s coming out of Intense Honking, as well as 3 AMX-50s and 2 IS-3s
Yeah, it's the same.
coming out of PvP Super Friends. This is a total mirror match, to be perfectly honest with you guys. But at this stage, we can see plainly that it's going to come down to decision making, as well as aim, connection to fire, and RNGs to determine who is going to win this game, or if we're going to see a draw. Well, RNGs doesn't determine that, but rather the shots fired do. All right. Ensk. There she is, a beautiful map, right? A little bit wrecked, if you will. Looks a little bit abandoned. Don't know about taking my family there for a vacation. I'd much rather, if there's any map in this game that I'd like to take my family to, it'd probably be Mines.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I would like to go to Himmelstoll.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
you can. There's a castle. You can go up the hill and
yeah.
have some photos, and you can see the whole city.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
I believe
that's
you.
Yeah.
All right, once again, to the north, it's PvP Super Friends, or I'm sorry, to the north, it's Intense Honking, and to the south, it's PvP Super Friends. That's what I get for looking at the screen and not the minimap.
PvP Rush. Nice.
All right. And it looks like PvP Super Friends is going to do something they don't do all that often.
Yeah, I think normally the PvP choose the north side, you know. I
No.
still didn't see PvP play on the south, but they were rush really good maybe a couple seasons ago, you know. But recently they don't rush anymore.
All right. Well, here we go. I feel like all those tanks piled up is not looking too good for PvP Super Friends at this moment, but you know, who am I to be the critic? I'm not at their level of play yet. I am only on the verge of unlocking a tier 8 tank myself. But already we can see that plays are being made that would not ordinarily be made because PvP Super Friends wants the win. And Intense Honking knows that they want the win. Typically what we see is one tank usually go off to the green zone from each side. But for the time, I mean, by one tank, I mean one tier 8. But for the time being, that's not the meta. That's not what they're doing. They want the win. Both, well, I mean, PvP Super Friends more so than Intense Honking. All right. So T1 off to the northeast is either Crouching Tiger or Honking Intensifies. And that would actually be Honking Intensifies as... Wait a minute. No, I'm sorry. That's Crouching Tiger. I was looking at it the wrong way.
Yep.
Okay. Right now, I mean, Robin, I think, knows that Ingrid is there. He's within the default scouting range, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. But what's keeping Ingrid from poking that corner is he doesn't know what's on the other side. Little Mac is, I think, ready and waiting for his chance to just charge in there. Ooh! Takes a good chunk of heat, Robin does, and returns no damage. Intensifies. He's set up and ready to go.
Okay, the Honking tackle the old. I think it's the old stretch, old position like the insidious scamming. You know, there's a we used to see such setup on the insidious scamming, which is this guy's old team. You know, and on such setup, the best way to get into to break the setup is go through the line 1, but until right now I didn't see PB have any movement on this, so maybe gonna be another draw, you know, because if they go through the middle, the line 4 is really dangerous because your enemy gonna shoot you from your right and left side if they go through the line 1, because there is only a I3 and M50. So you can really easy to kill them, but right now they don't have any setup. You know, look like they're gonna waiting for enemy coming.
You know, I have to agree to some extent. I mean, PvP Super Friends, realistically, they just can't move forward and you know, get a win with this. They can't just rush in like they are right now and get a win. It's not going to happen. I mean, it would actually be, how do I say this? It would be suicide for them to just do that, you know?
Yeah, but they have to win this one. If they didn't, they don't have a chance on the semifinal right now.
Well, what's the third map going to be? Do we know?
Third map is mines.
Okay, well,
Yeah, but
depends highly on spawning position
Mm.
of that map. Okay, well, at this point, I think we're kind of at a standstill. I mean, honestly, oh boy, Hydrorex out of the game in his T1.
Armito.
I think something that would be viable is that Honking intensifies, or excuse me, Crouching Tiger out there in the northeast. What he could do is probably circle his way back and maybe start a capture at 1 minute and 40 seconds. But he would have to start moving now in order for that to work.
Okay, this guy's moving right now.
Yeah, but it's only 2 minutes.
Yeah, not sure what he's gonna do.
And Icewater is there, ready to greet him. Uh-oh, Robin's out. There's no T1s remaining on PvP Super Friends. They decide immediately to pull back because they realize that, a draw is not viable if they're missing their T1 Cunningham. So it becomes all the more difficult. Okay. Crouching Tiger. He's moving into position, but it's already too late to actually, I guess you could say, initiate a solo capture and get the win. But if another tank joins him, it will certainly be feasible. If the T1 Cunningham can get with him, well, that guy's too far off. Intensifies is too far away to help out, and Little Mac is staring down his face. Okay. For the time being, this is... I feel like Crouching Tiger and Death Guys, both of their positions are just ultimately critical, and the capture initiates. 1 minute, 10 seconds remaining on the clock. 412 damage off of Death Skies. And everyone's just thinking, stay calm, stay calm. There's only one tank, and that's all they have to do. If PvP Super Friends reads this the wrong way, it can all mean instant death for the entire team. Okay, so T1 Cunningham has been spotted, and PvP Super Friends are doing their best to try and take him down, but that means their turrets are pre-rotated in a different direction, and Intense Honking is taking advantage of the situation, diving in with only 40 seconds remaining. The T1 Cunningham is taken out of the game. I think the capture might be completely off the table. 1019 damage off of Batman, 575 off of Death Guys, and Batman is out of the game. A better commander dead than one alive. 416 off of Tedamaru, and 668 off of Icewater, 643 coming off of Honk Like a Sir. And now 1024, and Icewater's out of the game. 667 off of Honk Like a Boss. Death Skies falls not long afterwards, and he's also followed by Tedamaru from PvP Super Friends. There's only a Nuto left. Can they get him in the next 4 seconds? He's backpedaling maniacally and alive. This game is a draw.
Do we know what's going on there?
What's up?
You know what? Because they use an MS-50 to shoot a T1.
Exactly, because the reload on it is so long. That's one less shot to use against the entire team.
They shoot a T1 by MS-50 at least like 8 rounds. If the enemy come in, you only can shoot twice and reload. So that's why you got a lot punishment there,
That's right.
They shouldn't do that. If you want to shoot a T1, just use the I3.
The autoloader's curse.
Cannot use the autoloader. So like the Death Guy, they take a chance to rush, but they almost do that.
Alright.
But whatever, they already win this one.
Well, that's what initiated the capture, or excuse me, initiated the rush coming from Intense Honking. They were about 10 seconds short of getting the final kill on PvP Super Friends. These guys are on the back foot in this best of 5. They are, I mean, like, yeah, the last 2 games have been a draw, but I mean, how do I say this? The draws have both, we can see that, like, Intense Honking has had more takes remaining at the end of those draws. And that's what leads me to believe that if PvP Super Friends, they just might not be able to take them in a head-on 5 versus 5 tier 8 fight. But let's see how that pans out in game number 3 after this short break.
Okay.
Game number 3 it is on Mines. Now, unfortunately, this has the hashtag Made in Taiwan label all over it. So, as you can see, we actually don't see the full-blown tank loadout on your screen, but we will read it off to you guys at this moment. Looks like both teams are not fully selected, if you will, but KV4s?
Yeah, 2 KV4.
I think Honking is going to do a defensive strategy
again. Yeah.
All right.
They're going to defend the houses.
Yeah. Honking. How many points the Honking have right now?
I believe they are actually in the top 4 already.
No.
Really?
Because of PvP is 7, so if they win, they're gonna got 10, the same score like now. And Honking is 10. Is Honking 10?
That is hard to say. I wish we had the standings on a sheet of paper right next to us. That'd be great, but...
let me check. Maybe I can check right now.
All right. Way to go.
Okay, if Honking is 10 right now, they just got a draw. They're gonna get the number 4, I think.
Well...
It's on website?
I believe we can find it on the website, but this one seems to be the WGL on European server.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Thus far, I mean, like, as we can see, the KV4, what are the specialties of this? I believe this is the first time I've actually ever seen it in tournament play.
KV4?
It's the first time? Maybe someone already chose that, but, we seldom see that.
Yeah, KV4.
It got really sick armor like a KV5, but the firepower, the DPM is much lower than KV5. So normally, if you're gonna rush, gonna attack, you will choose KV5. It got really high hit point, nice armor, and really nice DPM. But compared to KV4, the DPM is really bad. I think might be the last one. But the armor is good. No speed.
Being in a tier 7 myself, I don't recall actually running across any KV4s that I can remember, per se. But I'm a little bit eager to see just what intense Honking has in mind this game around.
He cannot camp on the south side, I think. He cannot camp on the base. They won't move it. Yeah, they already choose KV4.
All right, well, they are 2 KV4s, 1550 HP. There apparently is an AMX 50 to accompany them, if I'm not mistaken, and 2 AMX 1390s, as well as a medium 2, if I'm not mistaken. And a T1 Cunningham would be the final selection for our PvP Super Friends.
And they choose the medium one, right? So because of the medium one is big tier 1, I think.
Yeah.
So it can cover the whole body of IS-3.
I just called the entire tank selection wrong for PvP Super Friends. I know they got an AMX 50, 2 AMX 1390s, but what are the other 2 that they have right now? We couldn't see that clearly.
They're gonna uphill, I think, and trying to shoot the guard, the IS-3 on the lift.
All right. And of course, Haku is in this game, Crouching Tiger as well, and they're both in mediums. Ooh, and Haku was just taken down. Nice shot off of Batman there. And Death Skies, Honking Intensifies, and everyone else, they're just huddled up behind the houses. I'm wondering why we don't see a bunch of IS4s, or excuse me, IS3s.
IS4 is the tier 10 tank.
Right. I was just wondering, why don't we see an IS3 or a bunch of IS3s and a single KV1, or KV5 rather, like we've seen previously? That's what really has me my curiosity perked.
The 9.3 they remodeled the map,
so you need a push.
Yeah, they need a push.
All right. Guess what? They're just saying, hey, Wargaming, you tried to fix this? Well, guess what? It's not fixed. We're gonna break it for you.
Yeah, the M13 trying to uphill, but finally he find he cannot up, so he called his friend. Come on, push me.
Yeah, I'm sure that this is something that PvP Super Friends practiced last night, and it's probably going to help them out just a little bit. But I mean, as the rules of the game go, basically, if I can shoot you, you can shoot me too, unless you're an artillery. That's basically how this game works out.
Yeah.
Even if the chance to shoot you is very, very minimal.
Whoa. Wow.
And that is
What
the other
happened
medium.
over there?
It's a view range, because the medium one they only got like 300-meter view range, but M13 with the skill with the optical equipment, he gonna see you on the 450.
All right, there we go. PvP Super Friends trying to push into this as best they can. And as far as I can tell thus far, the AMX 1390 is not a position where it can actually spot all 4 or all 5 of those tier 8 tanks behind cover. So far in this exchange of fire, only now do we see Honk Like a Boss take damage among the tier 8s for either side.
Yep.
And PvP Super Friends are not going to play this one down. 419 damage off of Heist Water. Not so great in the way of an exchange in the larger scheme of things. Another failed connect onto PvP Super Friends 2, actually. 785 off of Death Guys. Nice shots. And guess what? That AMX 1390 doing work from the hill.
Wow.
247, 503.
Yeah, the hill side.
Angerid's trying to return
wow,
fire.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not quite working out. 1044 off of Angerid. It looks like he could be taken down. And guess what?
Nice.
Guess what? Someone needs to call the police. Intense Honking is getting murdered.
Wow.
Those 3 tanks piled up.
They got 3 minutes.
Right.
And M13 is reload right now, so next attack cannot start from 2 minutes 30, I think.
And we need free cam to see what is happening right now, because the AMX 1390 is giving that team so much vision. In fact, that's what gave them the kill on Angerid. All right, so the question is, do we see PvP Super Friends just pile in there, not for a capture, but rather to go in for the kill? I think they could actually successfully pull this off.
Wow.
There we go.
Shooting right now.
He's
You know
doing
what?
it. He's doing it. Guess
Yeah.
what? The turret depression is not good enough from Honk Like a Sir. He can't return fire. And guess what? Death Guys can't. PvP Super Friends are totally mauling Intense Honking by a technicality in the game.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Nice.
This is probably the last scenario they were hoping
M13
for.
reload again. So we got it waiting.
Yeah, I mean, I think once it's done reloading, we're actually going to see everybody pile in there for the kill. Oh, man. Hit onto Death Guys, but a non-penetrating hit at that.
Yeah.
All right, so when do we see PvP
The
dive in on this?
Yeah, the Hunkalizer cannot up his gun,
They're playing so carefully. 275,
Wow.
525 off of Honk Like a Boss. 277 off of Honking.
guy.
Intensifies. Death Guy is so close to
he's
dying,
down.
and he was taken down
Wow.
by the goddamn Batman with 3 kills. That's Hydra Rex in the hill, guys. Don't make a mistake. Tenumaru gets a shot onto Honk Like a Sir, but it's actually Hydra Rex who gets the killing blow, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And Intensifies is taking so much damage. It's down to these last 2.
Ooh.
These
And
last
it's
2
down.
tanks.
Boop. Nope.
Oh my god, Honk Like a Boss is taken down, and Honky Intensifies is now down to his last sliver of HP. This is a game that is all but in the hands of PvP Super Friends, using ingenuity and just clever wits.
Wow.
Batman's going in for the kill, but Tenumaru gets the
Okay.
final shot. Hydra Rex doing work in that AMX 1390, ends the game with 2 kills.
Yeah, it looks really nice. I have to say
Yeah.
that the PvP have a new strategy to break the campaign team, Wow.
Yeah.
Really
This,
nice.
this is the first time we've actually seen an AMX, well, second time we've actually seen an AMX 1390 put on the west side of the map in an appropriate
Not only
fashion.
west.
it
Last
happened
time
3
we
times.
see that on the like east side and like middle east, right?
Right.
This time they already go flanking maybe like 100 meters close to land, but
Yeah.
it's too high, so the gun cannot up to shoot him.
Right. Can't look up, right. The turret depression just sucks.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, man.
Really nice. Like okay, maybe the PV say, if we cannot get into semifinal, you cannot too.
Oh, man, that is
finally they win.
mean.
So I think the Intense Honking also lose the chance to get into the semifinal right now.
Maybe.
Yeah, but we can check the score.
Okay. Yeah, I have a standing on my
Oh,
computer
man.
right now.
Okay, so right now is Nam, Short Tiger, Team Efficiency, and the Elon, right? Already finalized.
So what's the total score thus far? For PvP Super Friends, that brings them to 10 points.
Yeah, it's 10 points, but we have to count the win-loss ratio.
The
They
win-loss
lose
ratio.
to, they lose to none because of they win today like 3-2, right? So they got
that's
1
right.
point, so it's a -1. but the number right now, it's also -1.
Yeah,
Right,
That's right.
so there could be a
Oh, they're
tiebreaker.
even.
Yeah, so they're
They're
tied.
gonna have another match.
They're gonna have to play a tiebreaker.
Yep, they're gonna have another match maybe next week or some. I don't know when.
Honestly, if Gash plus Night Eagles wins this one, I mean, there's still no hope for them. They're going to Silver Series. They're stuck with it.
Wow.
They are. And Team Efficiency versus Elong, well, I mean, either of those guys winning is not going to affect the score difference between Numb and Honking.
And
so,
the Shell Tiger, I think, even they lose, they already in the semifinal right now. So
that's right.
only have the PvP and the Numb. They gonna have new match.
well, that means if we're reading this the right way, they're gonna have to do something to basically settle the score between Numb and Honking. So there might be a tiebreaker, or there might be some other kind of, I guess you could say.
I believe there will be a tiebreaker somewhere, in the future.
All right, so it's either more work for us or just another best of 5 for them with a Wargaming admin to observe. All right, so guys, don't go away. We'll be back in about 5 minutes with our next set between Gash plus Night Eagles and Charlotte Tiger.